I'm Brian Stelter, and this is WRUG.
He writes for the New York Times, and if you're a fan of reading, then you're definitely a fan of the New York Times. I know.
We're all fans of reading.
Well, I think reading is important. They say reading is fundamental, and I'm glad to see that in this time with the takeover of technology and the internet, that the paper is still going strong. So kind of let the fans out there that still likes to read the paper, what got you started into this whole business of writing and journalism?
Yeah. I've been there only 5 years out of the, 150, 140-year history of the Times. I covered TV in college. I had a blog about television news, and the Times hired me when I graduated to keep blogging about TV, but also to write more generally for the newspaper as well. So I'm sort of a mixture of new and old media. I cover TV in the newspaper, but also on the web.
Exactly. Now, as times move forward and more people are moving towards the internet, what is the driving force that y'all say, hey, come check out this newspaper? What's keeping y'all thriving?
I think people know that the Times is going to have more details, longer stories, more complex stories. All of the details and nuance you're not going to get elsewhere. We can get, these days on the web, you can get headlines anywhere. You can get the first sentence anywhere, but you can't get the rest of the story in many other places. And I think that's what we have uniquely. We now charge for the website. So you now, just like you got to pay in the print edition, you got to pay for the website. But we still give some of it away, about 20 articles a month, or soon it's going to be 10 articles a month that you can read online for free. And I think that's good because we need to give people a little taste of what we have, and then hopefully they'll sign up for the rest of it.
Okay, one more question. How is it having the ability to kind of control what media that you want to cover? I know you mentioned when you was talking to the classroom that you're able to ask the everyday person about a situation that they're going through. I know a lot of times in mainstream media, they have to stick to the books, but I heard you say that you have a little bit more leeway to kind of have the autonomy to do what you want to do.
Yeah, I think sometimes journalists think they can't cover a certain topic because it's boring usually, or because their editors won't care. That's actually not true. There's no reason to self-censor. And I've found that at the Times, once in a while I have an idea for a story that I think is going to be boring or I think is going to be uninteresting. As long as you find a way to write it in an interesting way, people will read it, and the paper will publish it. So it's about being creative, I think, as a writer, to tackle topics that aren't usually written about, or to write about something that you've done 10 times before. You just got to be creative in the same way that other people in other fields are creative. Come up with a different way to tell a story, because storytelling is fundamental, just like reading, right? Storytelling is never going to go away. The ways we do it might change. We might not read it in print anymore. We might do it on a laptop or an iPhone someday. But storytelling is always going to be around, and news is always going to be around.
Okay. And one more thing, let everybody know your Twitter out there.
It's at Brian Stelter, and I always try to reply to everybody I get tweets from, and so I try to be responsive on there.
That's what's up, man. Hey, coming from one reporter to another, he's on his game, and y'all gonna see on the video. Now, I've interviewed some of the biggest people in the business, but this is the first interview where I feel like I had to step my A game up, because you're interviewing somebody that interviews people on a national scale. So I appreciate you taking time out to speak with me, and I appreciate you.
Thanks.